Welcome back to another video. Today I'm going to be having a look at a bit of combat, which I haven't done for a little while. And I've been meaning to do this for some time because I've seen over the last number of months lots of people using disruptor Corvettes, and they are very powerful disruptor cruisers once you get sort of towards the mid game. But disruptor Corvettes, and I've seen in the last Mon2 tournament that disruptors are banned, I believe, or they're being banned as of now. I don't think there's any real reason to ban disruptors. There are counters to people using disruptors, and I'll show you how. And it's also probably the most effective, cost-efficient in terms of alloys defense you can use in the game against masses of Corvettes using disruptors. So let's have a look. So we've got 50 Corvettes here. They're using, this is early game tech. We're using the standard early game disruptors, using afterburners, level 3 armor. We've got standard swarm combat computers and standard tech there. I'll just show the actual ship designs. So you can see here, so there's nothing untoward or anything there. Everything's pretty standard. Now I'm going to be using this against a station. Now this is a level 2 Starhold. It's got 4 hangar bays. We're using the target uplink computer to give us extra defense platform range. That's weapon range, and starbase weapon range as well, and also the communications jam, a bit of reduced sublight speed to slow them down a little bit. And I'll show the details here. So level 3 weapons and level 1 strike craft with the hyperlane nullification as well. So they have, for an enemy to get through, say this is a key blocking system, a key choke point, they have to get through this system. So they have to take out this star base, and if there was a planet, I think there's a habitat there, so they'd have to take out this system. You could also turn that into a fortress, have lots of armies on their fortress habitat to make it really difficult. But we've got 50 Corvettes here versus this station. Now to build this Corvette fleet of 50 ships, I'll just show you. So the actual cost is 169 alloys per Corvette. So if we were to build a fleet with that, it would cost us 8,450 alloys to build just those 50 Corvettes. So to build this station, to build a, so you've got your initial station, so that's 250 alloys, and then you've got your upgrading to a Starhold, which is 500, and then you've got 200 alloys here, 50 each, so that's what's 750 up to 950, and then we've got 100 there, so that's 1050, and another 50 there, so that's 1100. And then for the defense platforms, you can see here we've got 239, so let's call that, just say 1,000. So we're talking about 2,100 alloys to get this station, 8.5k up to that firepower, and then you've got 8,450 alloys there. So I've got an advantage of 6,000 alloys. Now what I would do, I can't replicate it in the way the game is set up, but I would have this station, my enemies coming in, they love using these disruptors and taking out my fleets and my stations. Let them charge in, and either say in the next system across you have a fleet of missile Corvettes or destroyer Corvettes, and you've got 6,000 alloys spare to build them with. So your fleet will be 3/4 the size of this one. But I would use missile Corvettes or destroyer Corvettes, put afterburners on them, use long range missiles, swarmer missiles, and bring them in. Let this engage this station and just have them jump in, and then they can engage with their missiles. So the strike craft, these will actually begin peeling off, chasing the missile Corvettes and destroyers, but these strike craft will chase them wherever they go in the whole system and be whittling away the whole battle, while your missile Corvettes and destroyers are kiting them around the map, firing their missiles at longer range. These guys will catch them and get a few kills, but it'll be an absolute slaughter. These guys get absolutely wasted if you had the missile fleet in here as well. It'd be absolutely no contest, guaranteed 100% every battle, no problem. They would have to bring in a second and third fleet probably to beat that kind of combination. Don't have to have a fleet of frigates come in, which the strike craft would probably make quick work of them anyway, or destroyers as well, and which means probably another 10,000 alloys, so they're spending double the amount of alloys just to try and take this one system, if they can even take it. And if they've got that many alloys, unless you're playing really badly, you'd have at least 2 fleets to counter them as well. So you might have your own fleet of destroyers to go in and counter their frigates and whatever else they've got. So let's see how this battle goes. You can see there they're going to target the station. They do have a slight firepower advantage, but I've only spent just over 2,000 alloys to their 8,500 nearly. So let's see how this... You can see the strike craft are going straight away, engaging. Slowing them down, they're taking some losses and damaging. You can see their firepower dropping. So ships are retreating, not only losing them, but they're actually retreating. So they're down to... They've lost 8 already, but their firepower has dropped quite a lot. Every ship they lose is important because it's less damage they can inflict on us. So you can see there, they're losing significant numbers now. Firepower's dropping. They just don't have enough to get through this station. Even though they've spent over 8,500 alloys on this fleet. Look, it's no contest. It's not even close. They might destroy 1 or 2 stations, maybe. Yeah, there we go. Bang. They're done. So let's have a look at how many ships they lost. They lost more than half their fleet. So we're probably talking 5,000, over 5,000 alloys there they just lost. And what did we lose? We lost... did we actually lose a station? No, we just kept it. So we took 0 alloy losses. So they lost 5,000 alloys, we lost nothing. So we've already got a massive economic advantage in this war straight away. So you're pretty much going to win that war based on that first battle, unless... something really bad happens. So you can just see there just how efficient using stations are and defenses, and you just should be using more of them, because if you put a fortress down on this planet, stronghold, and upgrade it, have some armies here as well, maybe put a shield generator down if you really needed to, but then turns this into very hard to take as well. So yeah, the enemy is just not going to get anywhere. So that's a good way to combat early strike craft rush. And we will jump into another video and I'll give you another example of that battle, a bit bigger fleet numbers. Okay, in this battle we've got 70 Corvettes, which is I think nearly 12,000 alloys. Have a quick look. 11,830 versus my 2,100 alloys. So I've got nearly 10,000 alloy advantage here that I haven't spent, that I would have spent on other fleets of missile corvettes and stuff ready to jump in here once he engages with this station, and the strike craft are hammering him, and then the missile corvettes can come in, or destroyers, and kite him around the map and just watch him take missiles and strike craft everywhere. It won't be pretty. This battle by itself should be a lot closer. I'm not sure if the station will actually win or not, but even if it doesn't, it will do a lot of damage, and you can just imagine what would happen if it was also fighting a 2/3 the size or 4/5 the size fleet of probably say 60 missile corvettes, considering the cost they've spent to build that fleet versus the cost I've spent. Let's see what happens. Strike craft going out straight away to engage. So fleet's taking losses there. Firepower's dropping quite quickly, but we are losing. We've lost 1 station there. Lost the second station. Firepower's dropped a fair bit. He's lost 15, 16. Down 3 stations. Down 4 stations. Stations all down now. Now we're just down to the station versus, or the starbase versus the fleet. Not going down that quick. He's losing firepower. We maybe should just hang on here, maybe. Every ship he loses just slows down that damage. You can see now their damage is dropping a fair bit now. Strike craft are really getting into them. Down to 2k now. So they've lost quite a few ships that retreated. Yeah, so we've got this quite easily in the end. So I'll just pause it here anyway. So the battle's practically over. Imagine what would happen if I had a missile fleet here as well of Corvettes, say 50 came in, and I'd still be spare alloys. It'd just be no contest. You could have probably 2 of these fleets and we'd still win. It'd be very close anyway. Yeah, you can see there. There we go, they retreated. Let's look at the losses. So he lost 38 Corvettes. So how much is that? Let's have a look at that. 38 Corvettes, 6,500 alloys he lost. And we lost just under 1,000 alloys. So we have 5,000 alloy advantage again. So that just shows how effective stations are. And if you are going to use the Corvette meta, you have to spend a huge amount of alloys, and you'd have to come in with more fleets or higher numbers than what you have versus a station of this size. And you can this station is, I can easily bump it up higher. I can add quite a lot more defense platforms. I've only got 4. I could spend another couple thousand alloys and make that 12. Good luck getting through that. You'd have to bring quite a lot of fleets. So that shows you how effective star bases can be versus the so-called Corvette meta. Okay, let's have a look at another fight, a little bit later technology, a bit more mid-game technology. Actually, just to prove my point first, or to give you a good example anyway, this battle tends to be very close. I could win, or I may not, depending on RNG. It just depends how it goes. So we've got our Corvettes here, but these are upgraded Corvettes. These have got the double or level 2 disruptors, a little bit better technology in them. And this is actually going with 25 destroyers. The reason I'm going with destroyers is because you get a bit more hull points. So you've got this bit stronger hull points. So it's a bit harder for the disruptors to kill them versus Corvettes. So that's the way I'm going. I've got missiles. So I've got the level 3 missiles and the swarmer missiles. I haven't put any armor or anything on there because my opponent's got disruptors. So I've just decided to go with that. We've got double afterburners. So this is if you know your opponent's using disruptors against you. If they've got a mix of fleets, well then you'd have to include a bit of armor and shields, whatever combination you think's best. Let's look at the cost of this. So a cost to make this mid-class Corvette of 50 is 8,800 alloys. And if we were going to have the destroyer, it's 5,900. So we're saving 2,500 alloys there, or actually nearly 3,000 alloys in comparison. So let's see how effective these disruptors are against the destroyers. Oh, just with the destroyers as well. The reason I can use destroyers is because I can put the artillery combat computer on them with the afterburner, so I can kite them a little bit around the map. That's why I've done that. The Corvettes, you can't really do the artillery combat computers on at this stage of the game, so you can't really kite them around as effectively. So let's see how this pans out. So there we go, missile volleys away, destroyers turn around, trying to kite them a bit, running for their lives. Corvettes have already gone down, a few, maybe one. There we go, firepower's dropping a bit. No destroyers out yet, they've lost at least probably 5 or 6. Some have retreated. So you can see they're not doing too bad a job. They're not, that destroyer there's copying a bit of disruptors, but they're sort of staying out of the range at the moment. They probably will get, are getting cornered over there, actually, the disruptors. But you can see they're sort of bouncing around a bit. They're not swarming around the destroyers as they could, because the combat computers can't decide which one to go after. So we are whittling them down. Their firepower's dropping. We haven't actually lost one ship yet destroyed. It means we just got them in a good position. Their combat computer just doesn't know what to do at the moment. And this is what can happen in some battles. Sometimes they will swarm, sometimes they won't. So imagine if you used a fleet like this when you've got the stations. Even 2 fleets like this. You can afford 2 fleets like this. You can afford 50 destroyers and a station that I've used in the previous battles. Yeah, we crushed them. We didn't lose a ship in that battle. Wow, that was very effective. That was hugely effective. So imagine we're using that with our previous battle, with the station, which only cost us a bit over 2,000 alloys. We could build, so this fleet was a bit over 5,000, so we could build nearly 2 of these fleets maybe say about 40 destroyers for the cost of the station and 40 destroyers versus their 70 Corvettes. That's what we're up against. So they would just come in and absolutely obliterate it. The station would be hammering them. These guys would be hammering them, cutting them around. See how cost effective that was. It didn't cost me one alloy. And how many ships did they lose? I think I wiped the entire fleet. Oh, I think they retreated. That's why retreat bug. Okay, let's move on to the next combat. Okay, for this battle we've got a bigger fight to try and test out a bit larger Corvette fleet. So we've got the similar one to the last battle. The tier 2 disruptors, bit sort of more middle sort of game tech, versus our station, which is similar. We've got level 2 strike craft and sort of average sort of technology here, nothing too fancy, all standard. And we have, what is it 8 defense stations now? Yeah, we've got 8 defense stations. Could have a lot more if we wanted to. Now that 8 defense stations, 4 is about 1,000, so that's 2,000 alloys. It was another, I think it was 750 to upgrade it, or 1,250 it was to upgrade. So that's another 2,250 alloys I'd spent, plus another 100 here for 2 more there. So 2,250 alloys versus, and that was on top of the 2,000. So about 4,200 odd alloys there for that station. So against 110 Corvettes. Let's look at the cost of that. Mid-game Corvettes, it's the same one. Look at that, 19,360. So we've got a 15,000 alloy advantage, which if we wanted to, we could build some of those destroyers like that and go, let's put in as many as we can. And yeah, we're still in front by about 3,000 or 2,000 alloys there. We're building all them and send in 55 destroyers. Let these guys engage, and then 55 destroyers come in over here and flank them, and it's all over Red Rover, no problems. Alright, let's see how this battle goes. This should be pretty close, or maybe. We'll see. Strike craft engaging. Actually attacking that station. Bugger. I should have deleted it anyway. They've already down 10. Slow this down a little bit. We're down. Probably lost about 20 already. We've lost a station, a defense platform. So I don't think this is going to go too well for these guys. They're losing quite a few ships. You can see the firepower just constantly dropping. They are whittling through the stations actually, honestly. They might be able to get this. Depends how much it's going down. Just depends how many we can kill before they destroy the station. Maybe the station there did wreck it. It's cost us killing some of their ships early. Let's fast forward this a bit. They might actually win this one. Maybe. Oh, it's going to be close. The power's dropping. My power's dropping. Just depends if we can get them down fast enough. Or we might have just turned the battle. Yeah, I think we have actually. Yeah, their firepower's dropped because as the later the battle goes, because we've got more strike craft attacking fewer targets, they can't do as much damage. Get the hull down fast enough. That's the problem they've got. So if you are attacking stations with disruptors, you need to bring frigates or something else to do more damage, but strike craft destroy frigates as well. They tend to priority target them as well. Okay, this battle is pretty much over. Just wait for them to retreat. Have they retreated yet? Yep, I think they've retreated. Alright, let's check the damage. How many ships did they lose? So, well, so they lost what, 56? 56? No, 66. 66 ships. So that's that one. Oh, do this. So 60. try again. 66, 11,600 alloys, and I lost about 2,000 alloys, so about 9,000 alloy advantage. So just imagine what happened if you bring in another fleet. It's just all over. So don't worry about disruptors, guys. If people are using disruptors against you, use your stations, use your choke points, have fleets in the nearby systems ready to, you know, here and here, ready to jump in if the enemy's going to jump in on you. Keep them nearby, ambush them, let them jump in. They might jump in 2 or 3 fleets, but you've got your big station and you bring in a couple of fleets of your own. Let the station take the first hits, deal it the damage, and your fleets will come in and mop them up. No problems whatsoever if you've designed them correctly. Now, as you get later in the game, yeah, people are going to come up with you with disruptor cruisers, but as long as you've got cruisers, build your carrier cruisers, build your artillery cruisers, still have your defense stations, but strike craft are not going to be as effective. You're going to want to use heavy, harder hitting weapons against cruisers. You'd probably be using things like, they're going to be coming in close range, so you're probably going to use things like plasma, lasers, I'd imagine, things that give you bonus versus armor and hull, if that's what they're running with the armor and hull. That tends to be what most people like to build. Not many shields these days, although a few are using shields just to throw a spanner in the works, so you've got to watch out for that. But yeah, cruisers can be counted, and the further you get into the game, disruptor cruisers lose a lot of their benefit after the mid-game, because once you start getting the higher tier weaponry, X-Lot weapons, battleships, artillery, kinetic artillery, you can really obliterate disruptor cruisers with a mix of Corvettes and battleships. That way, it's no real problem at all. You can use carrier battleships as well. So don't worry about disruptors. Use this particularly in the early counter and early game, far more efficient than alloys. You've seen the cost wise, it's just a couple of thousand alloys and you can stop a fleet of, someone spending 12,000 alloys on their Corvettes. You can crush them and win the game easily, or win that war easily in the opening battle. Alright guys, thanks for watching. That's it for now. Give me some comments what you think on this type of strategy. I know it's a more defensive strategy, but it's very effective if someone's declaring war on you when you're playing in that against human opponents in PvP. Not so much against the AI, but stations are normally pretty good against the AI anyway if they're fleet designs, but this would be really effective against human players who like to use disruptors, and there's no need to ban disruptors. We can easily counter disruptors with the right strategies and the right ship builds. It's not just ship designs that you need to worry about, it's employing the right strategy, and that's why we have stations, that's why we have defense platforms and the different combinations you can use there to benefit that. Okay, all right, thanks for watching. I'll see you guys next time. Bye for now.